What's up, everybody? This is just going to be a video where we're doing a bracket on the album Stoney by Post Malone. Yeah, we're going to try to be doing these every week or so, where we'll be going through, breaking down an album a little bit. It's going to be kind of podcast style, kind of not. Eventually, we'll be adding face cams. I'm a little bit under the weather right now, so we're not going to do that for this first one.
But I'm perfectly
But essentially, lucky you. Essentially, we're going to be doing artist by artist, kind of. So we're going to do Stoney first, Beer Bongs and Bentley, Hollywood's Bleeding, and then 12 Carat Toothache, for example. And then we're going to be doing one that takes the top four from each bracket, pinning them up against each other, and that's how we're going to see the best song by that artist. We'll be going artist by artist, essentially. After Post Malone, we are planning on going to Quedeca.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Riley, and
I'm Jacob. So, yeah, we also both dug into this album pretty well this last week or so. So we have a good understanding of all the songs. So I guess let's start with Broken Whiskey Glass. Very first song on the album. Riley, I'll let you kick it off.
This one sets the tone for the album pretty solidly. It talks about drinking codeine from a broken whiskey glass pretty early on. That kind of symbolizes him trying to mask his pains, and it's broken because he's very broken inside. It does set the tone very well for the album overall. However, I do find it to be quite underwhelming. I don't think there's a ton of meaning in it. The symbolism's pretty good, though. But it's just not the funnest to listen to. The meaning's not all that deep. It's an alright track.
Yeah, I mean, it's slow. It's an intro song, kind of how it should be. No, like you said, the meaning's not too crazy.
To contrast that, the song Cold. I know it's not very popular, but I find the song to be quite incredible. I like throughout the chorus how he's saying, like, I'm rich, but I'm still dead inside, and I really miss you. I like how he is kind of flexing throughout the album. I mean, throughout the song, yet he's not truly all there. He's still hurt. He's still getting through this broken relationship that ended in high school, it seems like. And I think this is one of the better albums on one of the better songs on the entire album.
Album on the album?
I know. I think it's one of the better songs on the entire album. I think it has some of the deepest meaning throughout it. I like that there's a lot of snippets, but he's kind of masking it as he's doing physically with how he's flexing. The only thing I don't like about this song is the production's not the greatest in my opinion. But I think that kind of goes with it artistically. I think throughout, like, the meaning of the song is kind of him living in an autopilot mode in the soundscape, and I think that the production represents that quite well.
Yeah, Riley's pretty high on this song. I'd say I'm mid to a little bit under mid on this song. I don't know. In my mind, it's really just a lot of flexing. But he also does talk about how he would die for his. Jeez, he just already bolted it. Wow. Jeez.
I did. I already moved it on.
Risky. But I do like it more than Broken Whiskey Glass, just because Broken Whiskey Glass is like the first song on the album. And, I mean, there's symbolism, but not a ton of it. So,
yeah,
I'd agree with Cold moving.
All right, and then yours truly, Austin Post versus Hit This Hard. I find this to be quite a blowout, personally.
Yeah.
Yours truly, Austin Post, just isn't a good song.
I mean, yeah.
I think the album's better without it, personally.
Yeah. I think it's a good spot in the placement of the song in the album. It's right after Up There. Up There is about getting high and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's just like a bringing down song, but also it's not like the greatest song.
It almost plays as an interlude, and it should have been an interlude instead of what it was.
I mean, it kind of is if you think about it. I mean, it's not like a, I don't know. It even like the title, Yours Truly, Austin Post, seems even more like an interlude.
That's true.
Title, but it's not technically an interlude, so.
But contrasting this with Hit This Hard, this song has some of the deepest meaning on the entire album, and in my opinion, some of the best production on the entire album. I like how it starts off with him talking with himself, like the inner dialogue. Mm-hmm. He's extremely high at this point. I think this is relatable for people who have been in this experience, and I think he illustrates this this part of life that some people go through very well. I think it's an incredible song. I also like how the verses are kind of talking about trying to get like going through all this, but the pre-chorus and chorus don't show that. They kind of show how he relapses time and time again, and he keeps going through this cyclical pattern. I think it's pretty well done. I kind of like how it flows throughout the song. Um, yeah, my only like gripe with it is it's probably not the most relatable song. A lot of people have never been through that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a good song. Just talking about, like you said, he's high at this moment. I'd agree it's better than yours truly, Austin Post. So, yeah, I think Riley likes it. I think Riley likes it more than I do. But Post Malone definitely, I think, took some of the Weeknd's production style in this song. Some high-pitched distortions and some echoes in the background, which is very Weeknd able style, you might say. But for me, I guess his like voice doesn't go along with the Weeknd's type of production as well. So I guess that's just my only thing about it. Just kind of sounds out of place for a Post Malone song. But it's definitely better than yours truly, I suppose.
Let's go back to the top. Congratulations versus Cold. I will let you start this one off.
Congratulations. I think a lot of people know this song. If you're watching this video and you don't know what Congratulations the song is, I'd actually be kind of surprised.
How are you watching this video? Yeah,
I'd be very, very surprised. But if you haven't listened to it, it's just basically a song about saying I was nothing in like high school or whenever before, and then White Iverson came out in 2015, and then he blew up, and now everyone's saying congratulations.
It's essentially a victory lap.
It is a victory lap.
From White Iverson.
Nostalgia plays a big part in the rating of this, I feel like. The song comes on. I know the song right away, right off the first thing. Like no words had to be said, and I know I know what song what this is. I mean, the beat is kind of basic, but I think it's pretty good. And I think Quavo actually does a pretty good job in this song. So
yeah, I think he fits the vibe very well.
Yeah.
Overall, I just feel like there's kind of a lack of meaning. It's quite all surface level.
Yeah.
Production is simple but good. I think it's a good song. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it stands up to Cold. Personally, I think the meaning throughout Cold is much deeper. I think it's a much better work of art overall.
Yeah.
It's very elaborate, and there's a lot of hidden meaning within it, and you have to like break it down. Sure, that's not going to get you the radio hit success that Congratulations did, but I personally believe Cold is a much, much better song. And yeah, I know it's going to be a hot take. People aren't going to like that, but the storytelling about how much he misses her and how he would trade it all for her and all of this stuff while he's still so new in this this world is incredible. Like, that's something you oftentimes hear come from artists much later on in their careers.
Yeah.
And to hear it from such a young Post Malone is very, very impressive and quite mature on his part. And I think that he did an incredible job with this concept.
Yeah, I just think Cole takes this one. It's a weird thing to say, but Cole takes this one just because based off meaning alone. I mean, the production in Cold isn't crazy, but I think it's just much more meaningful.
The artistic value is so much greater with Cold than it is with Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations is a great song. It's a radio banger, but we're taking a work of art versus a radio banger.
Yep.
I know most people aren't going to agree with that, but
yeah. And I think maybe just people who don't listen to songs that in depth would disagree. You kind of like I don't know about you, but did you think Cold was that in depth before you dove into it?
I mean, I've always kind of liked it. I like the uniqueness of it. But no, I didn't quite realize how much meaning was really packed in there until I like read it bar for bar and tried to break it down like an English teacher, essentially.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe if you disagree, just listen to them both. And if you still disagree, that's fine. Just maybe we're stupid. So it's a pretty good chance. Too Young and Patient. I'll start off with Too Young, and Riley, you can take Patient.
Alright.
Too Young was dedicated to ASAP Yams. Basically, Post Malone saying, "Don't die, please. Don't die too young." Which is kind of different than a lot of rappers. Like, just for instance, like Juice World. Juice World is always saying like, "I'm only alive because of my fans. I'm already dead." You know, just kind of things like that. And I think I like that Post Malone kind of took a different route. But outside of that, it's just like, not his best stuff. He references nuts in the song like a couple times, like she washes my nuts. It's funny, but that doesn't make this song good. So
Yeah, yeah, that song is I like how it kind of contrasts a lot of the album because a lot of the album is quite heavy and quite depressive. And I like that he's saying throughout all this, I still want to be alive.
yeah,
I still want to live for at least a little bit longer. I'm not ready to go yet. I think that's pretty unique on the song, and I like that. The song Patient, I think I don't like it very much. I do think it has some really good production, and I think that sonically is quite good. But the meaning is really just lacking in that department. Essentially, it's just a song about his drive to get money and get rich. Like,
Yeah.
there's really not that much to it. And as you, like, once you know every single word, you're singing the song in the car, it gets boring pretty quick. Like, it doesn't have that long of a shelf life. Personally, I'm thinking Too Young on this. I mean, it's relatively close, though.
Yeah, I mean, I rated both of these the same. So I guess Too Young is completely fine with me. Like, I think they're both very mid songs, to say the least.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but they're both pretty just okay.
I would agree with that.
Riley, you take Go Flex, I'll take Feel.
Alrighty. Go Flex is alright. It's not my favorite. I do like the production on it. I do like how he talks about how he's been repressing his problems for a long time and that no one was ever there before, but he has all these gold diggers for him now. I do like how he talks about how he's flexing on the outside, but he's still kind of cold inside, and it's not quite what he wants entirely. I do also like the retroactive perspective on his rise to fame. And I do overall like the production style on the song. Although there is a lot of lack of energy in the song, I feel like he could have delivered it a lot better. And I am not the biggest fan of the meaning. It's quite shallow and quite surface level. There's not that much depth to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, the guitar in the song is nice. And then the beat drop is good. But other than that, like you said, I really agree with the no meaning. Just flexing. So
I mean, it's a banger.
it's a good song.
It is a banger.
I think
but
nostalgia plays a great role in this song.
I would agree.
I'll listen to the song. Don't get me wrong. It's just the meaning and yeah.
Same. And when you contrast it with like the song "Feel," like there's so much there where he's using a relationship essentially to feel something because he's dead inside. Essentially, is what he's trying to illustrate.
Yeah.
And that he just uses sex just to finally feel something for once, and it's very prevalent in the chorus. I also like how in the chorus and a lot of the production in there, it feels like there's a lot of bursts of energy going on, and the song kind of feels bipolar in a way. And I think that is done in a very artistic way to illustrate how he feels and how he needs this sort of relationship in order to like have any motivation and have any sense of like desire to live. Essentially, I think meaning wise, it's levels ahead of Go Flex. Sure, the production isn't quite to the same level, but
Yeah.
I think overall Field has to take this.
Yeah, I mean, he refers to her as gold, and then if you've listened to any of the songs this album, he flexes his gold a lot. But also his gold doesn't bring him much actual feeling.
With her being referred to as gold, that he says her pussy made out of gold, and then she later on says he buys whatever, illustrating that the sex is just transactional. It doesn't have any meaning to it. It's just purely a transaction between the two.
Yeah. Feel probably takes that one. I think that's easy to say.
I would agree. I would agree.
Feeling Whitney and Leave.
I hate this matchup.
You know what? I'm gonna start off with Leave because I know you like Feeling Whitney. Leave. I like this song. I like Leave. It's another toxic relationship. I don't know if Feel was a toxic relationship more than just a feeling. But I feel like Leave is actually toxic. The beat in the chorus is like leading up to something, and then it just drops to nothing. I feel like that's just kind of what a toxic relationship is. Someone feels like they're leading up to something, and then it just comes out to be nothing. There's lots of God references in the sense of he doesn't believe in God, but he does refer to God. I feel like more in this song than any other songs, but you can tell the pain that he goes through in this song as well. So
I agree. I do think Leave is one of the best songs on the album. However, I do believe Feeling Whitney is one of the best songs on the album as well. Again, this is another matchup I wish wasn't this early on. I really wish this was much later on in this bracket. I think Feeling Whitney is incredible because he desperately wants someone to be able to lean on, and how he's not a big fan of this nightlife, and how he's using painkillers, or he's using drugs to kill his pain, much like Whitney Houston used painkillers to subdue her pain, and that ended up causing her to die. So he's very much realizing that the path he's on and the trajectory he's on isn't healthy for him, and it's not going to work out for him in the long run. I think it's wonderfully done, and I think that it's an incredible song. I think it's a great outro for the album, and I think that it's one of the better songs on the album. I personally really do like the beat and the way that it feels. Like, it's one of my favorite songs to sing in the car, personally. I really do enjoy this song. That being said, I do think the two are extremely, extremely, extremely close, and I would give it a slight edge to Feeling Whitney for myself, personally.
yeah, and see, I'm not. I mean, an outro is good, but I'm not a huge outro person. I mean,
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good outro.
and I personally, I mean, I listen to both songs, but I feel like I would sing more to Leave if I was in the car. And
That's fair.
Feeling Whitney's, I mean, it's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's better than average, I would say. I don't know if I'd put it too much above like average. I mean, it's better than average, but I wouldn't go like too much farther than that. But I would say I have to give it to Leave.
By like a significant margin, or is it really close?
Probably more than, I'd probably be a significant margin.
Right. I'm cool with going Leave because I think it's quite close.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
All right. On to the bottom part of the bracket.
Yeah, I love Fall Apart. It is probably my favorite Post Malone song. Well, top 3 for sure. I'm not going to say top favorite one. It's too early to say that, seeing that we have 3 more videos to make of Post Malone, so I'm just not going to say a favorite right now because there's more. But if I had an all-time favorite playlist, I Fall Apart would definitely be on that. So I'm 100% for Fall Apart. You can just basically hear him screaming his pain into the song and the emotion, and just I love that song.
I do agree that it's a really good song. I do not agree that it's one of his best. I don't believe it's even the best on this album. I do think it's a really good song. I just don't feel... It's all very surface level, and the first time you hear it, you understand the meaning of it.
Yes.
I like songs that are much deeper than that, uses more metaphors, is more artistic. I personally like Hit This Hard more. However, I know that it shouldn't win. So I agree that I Fall Apart should move on.
Yeah.
But I do personally prefer Hit This Hard, but I understand that's very much a weird me thing. Like,
Yeah.
I get that's not... I understand that's not how it actually is.
Yeah. I think, like, it's almost like the same as Congratulations and Cold, but the fact that, like, I Fall Apart
is
has
still a good song.
has
Like, there's
more
so much
meaning
Yeah.
than Congratulations by far, because Congratulations just has nothing, basically, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let
Big
you start
Lie
off with.
versus
I'll
No
let you start
Option.
this off this next one because I've been starting off a bit.
Okay. I think No Option is an alright song. It's not my favorite on the album by any stretch of the imagination. I like that he's trying to prove everyone wrong throughout the album. I kind of like that chip on shoulders into it. I really love the
Mm.
energy in the song, which I think he gets from the chip on the shoulder. I also kind of like how everyone's asking him to drop his song, like his album, right after White Iverson came out, and I appreciate that he didn't stick to the due date because he knew he could do better, and that he waited and felt like he had no option to but to wait and make something a little bit better and release it later. So I do like that. I like the concept of it, and I do like that he's addressing his haters and his fan base throughout the song. Um, that being said, it's still not my favorite song. It's not great. I don't really like how the chorus and the verse flow together. I'm not the it's not my favorite in like terms of stylistically, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Big Lie. Another nostalgia song for me, at least. I don't know about you, Riley, but I feel like I hear the song and I get brought back to. I mean, most of these songs I hear and I get brought back to like middle school or
Early
2016,
high
basically.
school, yeah.
Yeah. It's. I prefer No Option. I mean, Big Lie is him flexing, basically saying, and then basically the song is someone else is like calling him out for, or someone else saying that they have more wealth or something in him, and basically Post Malone saying it's a big lie. So
Yeah, I like the narcissism that he brings into the song, like quite intentionally, and I like that he's pretty much saying, "Yeah, fuck you, you're not flexing. I'm the one that's flexing here."
yeah,
For me, this comes up to a coin flip, so I really couldn't care less which wins.
I would say No Option. I definitely like No Option.
Awesome, I am a-okay with that.
By point rating, two or one more point, I guess, but I would say I like No Option a little bit more than Big Lie.
Fair, fair. White Iverson
White
versus
Iverson.
Up There. I feel like we're gonna piss some people off here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you want to start this? Or you want me to start this?
I'll start off, and you can go up there. I'll say some stuff about White Iverson. His first blow up song, White Iverson. It's a good song.
First track I ever heard him on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree that this is probably just a good song, at least a good song, I would say. I mean, it has the streams to support that it's probably a good song. It basically is referring to Post Malone as the White Iverson, to Allen Iverson, the basketball player. Obviously, it's a lot of references to basketball. He's always driving for that ring he never got because Allen Robinson never got a ring and he was still good, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, good song. Is it as good as Up There?
I'd argue no.
I think I would too.
I do think nostalgia plays a huge role in this song, and don't get me wrong, when this song comes on, I am bopping to it.
Mm-hmm.
But please, if you're getting pissed off at us right now, go back and listen to these two songs. You haven't listened to White Iverson in a couple years. Go back, listen. It's still a good song.
7 years ago. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
I mean, all the other songs came out 6, but
It's
7 years ago.
It's a good song. But like Up There, an incredible song produced by the Pharrell Williams, one of the best producers of all time. I think this is the best produced song on the entire album. I think it sounds beautiful. I think everything about it is quite incredible. The guitars and the production is absolutely superb. I love how it starts off with him driving home, which is something that we've all been through. You're going through some shit. You're driving home at night. You're kind of in your feels. We've all been there. We've all done it. Now, he's thinking, I got to go home and get high as fuck so I don't have to deal with these emotions. I don't want to deal with this problem right now. Something that a lot of us have felt. Don't know if we've all felt it, but personally, I've been there. I completely understand this, and I think he illustrates this quite a bit, like quite well. I like that he's talking about how she still has all this control over him, even though it's been years, and he doesn't quite understand why, and how he feels cold all the time. He hates being sober, and the only joy he ever gets the only joy he ever feels in life is when he's high. That's the only way he ever feels anything. And I think it's a really depressing and not a good message. but I think it's really meaningful, and it's a really good introspective look into who he is as a person. Um, the chorus and the pre-chorus I think are quite fun, and I think they're fun to listen to. I think they're fun to sing along with, and I like how he says he never wants to come back down because he never wants to deal with the current hell that he lives in. I think that it's a wonderful, wonderful song, and I like how he feels so out of control throughout it, and how he resorts to religion when he's notoriously not a religious person, because that's how desperate and out of control he feels throughout the entire song. This is personally my favorite song on the entire album.
No, really?
Yeah, I know. Wow,
Really?
who's surprised?
Oh.
But I do feel like this is a really, really solid song, and like, it's unfortunate to see White Iverson go so early, but we're comparing like a 6 out of 10 to a 9 or a 10 out of 10 right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with up there. So, cool. A lot of people are probably super mad right now, but it's fine. It's fine.
It happens.
Deja Vu and Money Made Me Do It.
You
I'll start
can
off
take.
Deja Vu.
Oh, okay. All right.
I want to hear you say stuff about Money Made Me Do It because I already know what you think. So,
Okay.
Deja Vu featuring Justin Bieber, JB. I've actually come to like Justin Bieber in the past couple of years.
Same.
I was like not a huge Justin Bieber fan. Like obviously in his like early times and not for a while. Like there's a point where I just really didn't like him, and then there's just a point where I was like, he's okay. And now I'm like, okay, he's actually kind of good. So, I think him and Post Malone do a very, very good job. They sound good together. And then Deja Vu, production-wise, it's interesting. It's like a Hawaiian, like tropical kind of production. At least in my head, maybe I'm just weird. But basically, Deja Vu is just talking about how he's with a girl and he doesn't is like not really feeling it because he's already felt. He's like trying to remember if he's been here at this point before. So, and he flexes in the song, talks about his fame, everyone following him around.
I love that he talks about how he gets flashbacks to past relationships. It
Yeah.
honestly is the opposite perspective of Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo, which is quite interesting considering how far apart they are and they have the same song title, but they do really work quite well together. Like, not sonically or anything, but like conceptually from just a different perspective. And I do really personally like this song quite a bit. To contrast that, Money Made Me Do It. Fuck this song. I don't like this song. There's nothing redeeming about it. It's just he's flexing. He's doing it. He's essentially saying he's doing this for the money. That is the opposite mentality of what I want from an artist. I don't want an artist to be making music for fucking money. I want them to be doing it to get through their problems. I want them to be doing it to make something unique. That's what I like about music. And it's just everything I don't like about music in one song. If this song never came out, I think it would be Post Malone would be better. This song is not. It's awful. It's a scar on his reputation, and it's a scar on this album. Somehow it got a 2 out of 10 for me. If anything, I should drop it down to a 0 out of 10. It shouldn't exist.
Okay, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. 100%. 100% agree with that. I do believe this is probably one of the not best songs on the album, to say the least. But it is fun to sing because it's funny. 2 Chainz is funny in the song.
They don't go together. Like, they don't. The charisma between Post and 2 Chainz is trash. Just everything about the song is a flaming garbage can.
Nah.
It's flaming because it's a little bit fire. Like it sonically is fun, but
it is sonically
it just
cool.
sucks.
And I could sing this song with a bunch of friends. But if I'm like trying to like sit down and rate songs, this is not a good song to like. As a whole, it's not a good song. Like there's like one good part of the song. It's the beat basically. so yeah, Deja Vu, I think beats it. So
Handedly.
Yeah.
Fuck Money Made Me Do It.
I just have a good time when I listen to Money Made Me Do It. Do I think it's a great song? No. So.
All right, so we're gonna go back up to the top now. We're not gonna go as in detail now. You've heard our spiel about every song at this point. So Yeah, let's get it. Cold versus Too Young. Cold.
Yeah, I mean I could see that. I'm not I'm not crazy on Too Young, so I guess I'll let you get Cold. I guess I do like the meaning of Too Young. Like I just like it. It's different, but I understand Cold is also.
I feel like Cold got helped out with its placement in this bracket in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like I don't get me wrong, I love the song, but like objectively, there's a lot of songs that are better than this. Like Feeling Whitney versus Cold, I feel like Feeling Whitney would handedly beat Cold.
Yeah.
But Feeling Whitney was out first round.
You're saying it got a good spot versus the number 1 seed. Congratulations.
Let's be real. Congratulations it's a radio song. It's not to the level of the rest of this. All right. It's a good song. It's not to the levels though.
The 17 seed beat the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And made it to the
semifinals.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah, you're right.
Quarterfinals. Yes.
Feel
and Leave.
I mean,
you love this matchup.
No, I'm not a fan.
I know you're not.
I fuck with both of these songs quite a bit. They're some of my favorites on this album. They're some of the songs that kind of make this album for me because they're like mid cuts that kind of make the whole album a good album. Yeah. I would be happy going either way. That being said, I do personally believe Feel is a slightly better song, but if you have passionate feelings the other way around, I am okay with that.
Both good songs. If I look at my rating, they're very, very close, but I would have to say Leave.
Yeah, I am cool with that.
Very good songs. I just think Leave is the one, in my opinion. So, I Fall Apart. Yeah.
That one's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I Fall Apart. I don't know. I like No Option. Like it's one of my higher actually rated songs, but it's not. No, it's not compared to.
Hit This Hard is better than No Option. That's a fact.
I don't know. But
Up There versus Deja Vu. It's pretty
there.
obvious where I stand on this one.
Yeah, Up There. I'd agree. I like Deja Vu. It's a good song. It's one of the better ones on this album. But I think we just gotta. I think Up There is just too good. So.
I would agree.
Top down again.
Yeah. Cold versus Leave.
I think this ends Cold streak. I think Cold gets on a cold streak now.
Oh no. I mean, I like the song Cold more, but I would agree that Leave should probably win this one.
Yes, I think Leave. I mean, if you look, okay, just look at our bracket right now. Hold up. Before you type anything in, don't type anything in. You typed it in. Okay, fine. Look at Cold. How many streams it has? 103 mil.
Yeah.
Leave has 143 mil. I Fall Apart has the billion. Up There is 100.
Yo,
up there is 133.
We clearly don't give a fuck about stream.
We do not care.
I think that's accurate.
That is just nuts. This bracket is so. Like,
I feel like that's kind of true with a lot of things. Like if you like Kendrick, you probably love the song "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst." That doesn't have a ton of streams, but that's still his like one of his best songs ever.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of ubiquitous
mean,
throughout a lot of this. A lot of times the best songs ever are songs you don't want to ruin by over listening to, and they also aren't necessarily radio hits. Like they don't have.
Yeah.
Like these songs might make you freaking cry, which is a wonderful thing on their part. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to listen to that at a party. You don't want to listen to that driving in the car. You want to listen to that sparingly.
Yep.
So I don't really give a shit about streams.
It's also going to be interesting, like, for instance, Riley and I both really like Quedeca. Quedeca doesn't get a ton of streams.
That's true.
So it'll be interesting when we go through those because streaming won't really be a factor. Like,
Beeman's going to be his most streamed.
Yeah, like, us saying Cold versus Congratulations and Congratulations losing is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But when you get a smaller artist that doesn't really have that many streams to begin with, is interesting. It'll be interesting.
It will be. All right, I Fall Apart versus Up There. This is the final. Like whoever wins this wins the whole bracket essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna leave up there, and you're not gonna leave I Fall Apart.
No.
So I mean, I think we're just gonna have to go right to the coin.
All right, so we'll go to the coin. I'm pulling it up on my screen right now. Flipping. Heads is I Fall Apart. Tails is It Got Heads. Woo! I Fall Apart, baby.
It feels bad.
I love I Fall Apart. I love it.
I mean, yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah. It is.
I like Up There more. I think.
I mean, I Up There is a great song. It's an interesting. It's Pharrell Williams.
It does feel a little bit
it's a
out of
great
place on
story.
the album,
Yeah.
which is, I'll admit that. However,
Mm.
it's incredible. So yeah, I Fall Apart wins. I don't even think we have to discuss
Yes.
the I Fall Apart versus
Yes.
Leave.
It's interesting because like,
I would say I
right,
Fall
if
Apart's
you
my
just-
number 2 on this album.
yeah. I mean, if you were to look at our bracket before we did any choices and then skip to right now, you might agree with this. But like
You
with the
wouldn't
final,
ag-
like,
yeah.
with the last pick, you would agree.
Yeah.
But when you look at what we picked in between,
Yeah, Up There beat
Um,
White Iverson.
yeah,
That's a pretty big
and
upset.
Cold.
Leave beat Feeling Whitney. That's a pretty big upset.
It's
Feel
it's
beat
kinda
Go
c-
Flex. That's a huge upset. Cold versus
Yeah.
Congratulations. Massive upset.
So you just look at like how it got here. I think is more interesting than actually the result, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because I think if someone just said the best song on Stoney is "I Fall Apart," I think most people would be like, "Okay, I respect that at least." You might not
Yeah.
agree 100%, but you'd be like, "All right, that's respectable."
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll show you our ratings.
yeah. So
So obviously a bracket is kind of based on feeling in the moment. So it's
Mhm.
not necessarily going to reflect exactly how we feel. And I mean, there's an element of debate in this. So like,
Yep.
say I might have convinced Jacob to pick Cold over Congratulations. Maybe if it was only him, he would have picked Congratulations over it.
yeah,
So that's very reasonable. And I mean, that's kind of the nature of a bracket. So these are our
Mhm.
individual ratings and then our combined ratings.
You
Yeah.
can see the rating guideline here on the right. So you actually do
I'm
have.
going to edit this.
a
Money
1
Made
to
Me Do
2.
This gets a 1.
Jeez.
There, you've seen it here first. It got dropped.
Jeez.
Um,
I don't agree with that, but I also understand it though. So
so yeah, that's that. Next video will be a Beer Bongs and Bentley bracket.
yeah,
This one should be interesting. This is when both me and Jacob both got very into Post Malone.
yeah.
I personally think at the end of this, Stoney will still be my favorite album ever by Post Malone. However, this is probably the most impactful album on my life, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was just at a point in our lives, like in high school, halfway through high school, basically. It was just.
It was.
I can just go back to that time. So.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. We'll probably piss off some people.
Yeah, just like we
Again?
did today.
I don't necessarily think there's going to be quite as massive of an upset on this one. However, there is one song in particular that I think I'm going to have a hot take on. That would win my bracket personally. That would win very few people's.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about this. I've just been listening to Stoney. Haven't listened to Beer Bongs and Bentley in a while. I actually got it. I got the vinyl for my birthday, but that'll be interesting to dive into all these songs. Maybe there'll be a song that we see different. I see we put "Spoil." We spelt it wrong, and that's also
Happens.
not the entire song title. "Spoil My Night."
Oh my god, how did we mess this up? Okay, well, anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. There will be much more coming. This is essentially an excuse for me and Jacob to listen to more artists that we haven't necessarily given a shot. We've both
And
given
dive deep
Post
into them.
Malone a pretty good shot overall so far, so we're kind of learning with him and learning how this is going to work. he's still a
So
really
let us know if you think we're outrageous on cold or anything else.
yeah. Which I mean, that's gonna be inevitable. We are kind of unique when it comes to our taste in music. So
But yeah, but about in a week we should be talking about Beer Bongs and Bentley. Hopefully another video up in about a week. Let us know who else we should take a look at. I mean, we have some artists in mind. We got The Weeknd. When we talked about Quedeca, Juice WRLD, Khalid, Charles Gambino, Tyler the Creator, Kendrick, Joji. I mean,
and
there's
many more.
there's
Like
many more.
we're planning on doing artists from all over. Little Sims is one, Kanye West is
Yeah.
one, Clairo,
Kanye, yeah.
Bruno Mars, Van Halen, Michael Jackson, Queen, Billy Joel, Daniel Caesar, Billie Eilish, Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
We're gonna be all over. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we're gonna kind of have a hip hop sort of basis
Yeah.
because that's kind of what we listen to.
Did you name any country artists, Riley?
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the closest we're gonna get is gonna be Clairo, or maybe like Taylor Swift. Maybe someday that'll happen.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we got stuff planned, so hopefully every week we're posting. So
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, they have to have a decent amount of art albums. If they only have one album, it's going to be difficult. Like, Quedeca is going to be a little bit of a stretch for us to do. Because, like, Out of Order and even Voice Memos, do those really count as albums, if you're familiar with
I think
them?
Voice Memos for sure. Out of Order is starting to be a stretch.
That's true. I mean, Voice Memos is
He
leagues
references-
below From Me to You.
Yeah, but he references Voice Memos in
From Me to You.
media.
That's true.
We should just wrap up. We're kind of rambling.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. Farewell.
See ya.